Get it all out. Get it all out. Get it all out of your system. Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, and I'm here today to start the week with Cricut Chat with Miss Rita. Good morning. Hello, Dawn. Hi, Susan. Sherry. Hi, Leslie. Hi, the other Susan. How are you all? Hope you're well. Hope you had a great weekend. I got some nice little emails from people today or over the weekend saying that they were doing their spring cleaning, which is what I did yesterday. Actually, the whole weekend, but I took some time to just sort of play around too. So it was very fruitful. And I'm glad to be here to have a great schedule for this week. You're going to really, really, I hope, enjoy it. We're going to be doing a couple of pop-up cards in Design Space that one just popped up, and that is a cross that came, and I hope that my iPad's gonna stay active here. So there's a cross pop up, and there is a Easter basket, Easter bunny basket. We're going to be working on those this week. We're also going to be doing some Easter tea towels using the auto press, and we're finishing off the week, being only couple short weeks till Easter. So we're finishing off the week with 3 free cards from Dreaming Tree. Here's the cross one. And then also, I can't forget that we are also going to be doing the giveaways this week. And so if you have not gotten your name in, or you just haven't done it recently, this is one of the last days that you can get your names in to be eligible for one of 5 major awards. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I hope it's nice where you are. I actually woke up and it was freezing cold. I have to spend 2 hours at the golf course, at least 2 hours at the golf course this afternoon. So I'm trying to think, what can I wear to be warm? I think I might have to wear my boots because it's pretty cold here. We got a little dusting of snow. We got some sort of polar vortex Arctic temperature, whatever. Anyway, so today we're going to be working on etching. Now, I did a lot of research, a lot of trial and error for this etching, and I even went out and bought a ton of these Pyrex plates. They're not really Pyrex, they're from Anchor Hawking. And these were the cheapest I could find. And then after I purchased them, I thought, I should go to our local thrift store and pick up some because those are usually less expensive. But if you want to do this craft and you don't already have like a casserole dish like this. This is a glass Anchor Hawking that I got at Walmart, and it was only like about $5. So including that and the cream, this is a less than $10 gift that you can do. Now, I will tell you that I did have sort of spotty results with this, and then which led me down a major rabbit hole. So I think this will be one of those things that we'll talk about, and then maybe I'll come back and show you a few more tricks about it. For now, all I did was buy this 2.8-ounce bottle. I did not buy the large bottle. Perhaps you have purchased it and didn't know what to do with it. I'm going to show you how to use it. And we'll go step by step through the whole process. Now, we're not going to be cutting today on our Cricut. However, I will give you the file. This is a file that I developed, and I actually have 3 different versions here. This is the one that I came up with. Now, when I give you this file, all you'll have to do is go in and contour out my name and add your own name or whoever's name you want. Okay. This was a little bit of a tricky file because of these pieces right here in the whisk. And then you have to very carefully weed through the letters, and you have to do it backward, because we're making actually a stencil. Okay, so let me show you. I'm not sure if I kept any that I didn't weed already, because I really had to practice this. So what I did was, first I started off with the Cricut stencil material, which, I'll be really honest, was super thick and I thought would work really, really great. But I had a hard time with weeding it. And so I quickly went on to permanent vinyl. First, I did it in white, and I couldn't really see what I was doing. And I thought that's probably not the best thing, that you can't see what you're doing on this. So then I switched to black, and I also did this yellow. What I decided to do after I made it this big is I decided to switch it to a smaller size. So that's what these are. These are smaller size. And then you'll notice here, I changed the lettering from all uppercase to upper and lowercase. So that's really the only difference here. These images are this particular image and my modification. They all came from Design Space. So I'm happy to share them with you. What I did, just to kind of give you an idea of what I did, was I added a little, the dot for the flower. I added these little hearts. And then I cut out the bottom of this. So this is what it originally looked like, right? Without this in there. But this is what it originally looked like. And here I cut out, I put little hearts here because I thought that was kind of cool. And then here, and then I cut off this bottom half, and I added the banners, and this kitchen thing. Now, you might be looking at it going, Rita, I can't read that. And that's because it is mirrored. So when you cut this out, and this is hard for my ADD brain to wrap around, okay? But when you cut this out, you mirror it just like you would your what you call it your iron on, right? And the reason being is that when we're going to etch, we're not going to etch on the inside, we're going to etch on the back side of this casserole. Now, this particular casserole, and probably a lot of them that you might have, including Pyrex, does have like a raised I guess it's a stamp, or it's the logo. This is Anchor Hawking. It really doesn't much matter, and you cannot remove that. What we're going to be doing is working over that. Okay. The other thing about this one versus a Pyrex is that it's very rounded, and so when I started it, I was making it like very tall and wide, especially wide. And then I noticed that on the edges, it was a little harder to see and also a little harder to work with. So I decided to shrink it down and try to make it just the flat part, which limited my cutout for sure, but I think it's going to look better. Now, these were brand new. I'm going to move this. These were brand new when I started. As you can see, I think you can see that I have a couple extra here. I bought 5 of them, and yesterday I spent time doing this. Now, this is not a project for someone who might be impatient with the process, okay? Because I think, even though it appears to be a very simple project, it does require a little bit of patience. Okay. So I did this twice. This was my first attempt. And I got to tell you, I'm really disappointed in it, but that's okay. Cause I don't know if I can see it or not, but, here you see, I put it on and it's like it was super blotchy. And then I started to go down this rabbit hole of how can I make it appear better or brighter or something, where I started playing around with alcohol ink and to sort of color it, and it did not go well. And that's one of those things where I think I will probably pursue that a little bit more when I have a little more time. So this ended up being the second attempt. I don't know if you can see that, but etched. It's etched into the glass. It's also crooked, but but it is indeed etched into the glass. It's hard to see this, and this is not true etching. It is like an etching, a faux etching, right? It's sort of like, if you really wanted to achieve etching, you would need a special machine to do this. So this is kind of like, it's a fun project. This will last a long time, if not forever. And it would make a great gift as long as you were very, very careful about putting it on and taking it off. And we're going to go through all those steps, okay? But so it is a little bit of a tedious process. There's a little bit of danger involved with the armor etch, but I mean, I thought it was kind of fun. I honestly was a little disappointed in that sort of blotchiness, and I'm hoping that the third time will be a charm. So here is what we're doing. So again, we are mirroring, we're taking an image, we're mirroring that image, weeding it. I don't have anything to weed for you because I weeded all of these and already. So we're going to weed this very carefully. And the way that we're going to weed it is to weed the inside portion. Now, normally when we weed, remember, we usually take off that excess, but really essentially I formed a little box around this and I decided I was going to make a stencil. That's what this is. It is a stencil. The stencil can only be used once. And by the way, I do have a program coming up in the future about stencils, about reusable stencils. So I'm hoping that that will sort of, if you have any questions about stencils, then you can ask then. But this is permanent Cricut permanent vinyl. So it's smart vinyl permanent, you see, and I put it in my machine and cut it out. So now what I have to do is I have to transfer the image onto onto transfer tape so that I can put it onto the dish. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking off a little bit of the tape so that I can transfer it. And you'll see here, I've got hair and dust and everything all in my project. This is what comes of having 3 dogs that are constantly shedding. Anyway, so I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to just kind of line it up on, this is called the hinge method. You can use it if you want. But basically what you're doing is peeling off and attaching the transfer tape to your image, just like that. This is a throwaway. And then you're going to burnish. So here's a little piece of, unfortunate, like a little piece of masking tape. So what we're going to do is we're going to burnish this image because we want all of these pieces to come up and we want them to come up well. So we need to make sure we get the image stuck to the transfer tape, right? So be extra careful about this part. And especially the very delicate areas like this or the letters. It's really important. It will help when we are removing it. It will make us feel better about doing this project. So it's just a thing you have to do, and I think a lot of people forget it, and then they get really frustrated with this process. And so it's best to, sort of overdo it, because you can't really overdo it. So there I am, and I am going to turn it over actually and do it over here. Now this excess here is not super necessary, but I'm going to leave it on because it's going to help me put it onto the plate better. Okay. So I'm going to leave that like that. And you can test to see if it worked just by peeling back a little corner to see, yep, it's worked. Okay. Let's put that aside. Now let's take our plate. Now, as I said, this is a brand new plate. So in order for me to be sure that it's nice and clean, it doesn't have any coating on it or anything, I'm going to wash it with a little bit of alcohol. This is the isopropyl alcohol. I think this is 91%, but you can use the other kind as well. If you don't have alcohol, you could use a glass cleaner, or you could also wash it off with soapy water. This process might take you to the sink, but I decided, since I wanted to do the whole process start to finish, I wanted to make sure that you see it all. I'm not going to actually be going to the sink. I'm going to try to take it off while using alcohol again. So hopefully that will work. Now it's nice and clean. There is a little trailing of like that inside where they put the label for that, but it's very clean. And so now I am going to take my my image, which I have cut so that it would just be on, you can almost feel it right here, can just be on the inside of, without the curve sort of thing. And I'm going to place it down, and I'm going to use that transfer tape to make sure I'm putting it in the right place. You see, just like that. Okay. Just kind of want to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay. And then I am going to start peeling up, and you'll see that I'm having a little trouble right here, but I'm going to go slow, and I can still come back and do some burnishing here just in case. And it's almost like rubbing a magic ball or whatever, you have to come back sometimes a little bit and see, it's coming off, which is really cool, but it's missing some of these letters. So we just keep sort of going there and working through this. Don't get discouraged about this. This is something everybody deals with, and it's not super easy. This is probably one of the harder things to do with a Cricut project. Okay, so just stay with it, and trial and error, trial and error. And I actually I make all kinds of errors on this show because I want you to see, well, first of all, because I'm imperfect and I don't believe in perfection in crafting. I don't think that it's it's great to show people a very perfect start to finish, because they're going to encounter problems and they need to know how to get out of it. So that's why I try to show you live how this whole process works. And it's not as simple as, oh, just tear it off and stick it on. It's not like that. It's, sometimes you have to go back and sort of secure the process. Secure the material or whatever you see here. And there's one that didn't want to come off. There it is now. All right. And I've got some pretty small letters here, including dots on the I. And this little part of the A. I want to make sure I get it off so that it will show up on my stencil. There we go. Now you see, I have my stencil on the thing, so I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, it's in the wrong place, or how do I make it so that it's straight? There it is. It's straight. I got smarter as I went on with this. And so I'm going to throw this away. And then I'm going to take my, this is just a scraping, extra large scraping tool. And I'm just going to go over and make sure that I can transfer. That's what the transfer tape's for. I'm transferring the permanent. I wouldn't use removable, I think. Or if you wanted to, you could use the stencil. But I'm trying to make sure that all those pieces that were on there are going to stick when I take it off. So let's try this. Now, again, I realize it's backward, but let me just show you that. So when it's done, you can see it's coming up correctly. And there you go. And again, I probably wouldn't do this on the inside because food will get stuck there, you know, and that's not a good thing. So we're peeling off. The transfer tape is coming off beautifully. And oof, there it is. Okay. So you can keep transfer tape, by the way. You can use it more than once, but I'm not going to do that for this case. Now, in this case, what I am going to do is I'm going to take some masking tape and I'm going to put it around the stencil. The reason why I'm doing this is I wanted to cut the stencil small, though you could have cut it bigger. I want to cut the stencil small so I could see where it was going to go. But then I don't want any of the etching cream to get on a place where it doesn't belong. And so you'll see when we start doing the etching cream, you'll see what I mean about this. So this is just sort of protective barrier right here. And we're going to do this like this. Okay. And you don't have to be that careful about it, like right here. But, you know, I'm fussy. I'm fussy. I'm a fuss budget. Okay. We're going to make sure that that is all on there. I'm going to make sure my little whisk pieces are on, all my letters are on, and it's a really strong adhering to it. Okay. Again, we already cleaned with alcohol. We are going to be using the Armor Etch. We're going to use some of these popsicle sticks. I will need some gloves, and if you are a messy crafter, maybe eyewear as well. Let me just move this stuff out of the way. And I have tried this with a couple of things. First, I tried it with this. This is a just a plain old brush that I got. I felt like I brushed it on, and I think that's why my first attempt sort of failed. So then I watched a lot of videos, and I saw people using things like sponge brushes, and then I saw somebody use this, which is a popsicle stick. So I just want to give you the option of you can use quite a bit, but the application, I'm going to take off my ring. The application is important for this process, and you could actually redo it if it didn't go well, but I didn't know that at the time and I took my stencil off. So this is it. This is etching cream. It does smell like sulfur, and you do need to stir it up. Now, the good thing about this is even though it's expensive, you can reclaim, I guess the word, some of it. And so you don't really need it. You don't really need to replace it all that often unless you're going into the etching business. Okay. So there it is, all it is kind of gritty, and what we're going to do is we're going to lay it on the part that has the stencil. Now, this part I think is important. I think it gives you a better etch. Is you would just go ahead and dab it on, but do it in a globby fashion. I was doing it like this, sort of painting it, and I don't think that really works. And again, you can reclaim this stuff for sure. And you work as fast or as slow as you need to, but we're not going to, don't try to conserve it. Well, it's sort of like when you're using glitter on something and or you're making something with heat embossed, you're going to use a lot of it, but then you're going to kind of reclaim it. So, in my opinion, even though I'm usually the less is more kind of a person, in this case, I really do think more is more. And so that's why I'm going really thick on this. And then we'll come back and we'll reclaim it. Now, the jury is out on how long you're supposed to leave this. Um, I watched so many videos and everybody had a different opinion. Some people said 1 to 2 minutes. The bottle actually says 1 to 3 minutes. Although I think Jennifer did this and she said 15 minutes. So I think what we'll do is we'll kind of go somewhere in the middle and do like 5 to 10 minutes or something. And I am talking, so that will take up some of the time. Okay. It doesn't dry. It's not like paint or anything. It's like a cream. There is a chemical in there, and the chemical actually comes and like basically etches the top layer of the glass off of the and you'll feel it when it's done. It sort of etches the top layer off of the glass. Now, this will not work on plastic. I did research it. It will not work on metal. I researched that too. You can color it, but I haven't been able to procure the coloring cream. And then I got word that maybe it would work with alcohol inks. So I started playing around with that. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do the basic and then we'll come back and we'll talk about etching on glass. Now, I chose this as my project, probably not the best first project to do this on, but because they said don't do it on large areas, which might be the reason why I have the problem I did at the beginning. But me, I always bite off more than I can chew. And so I'm going to do this way. I think this would make a perfect gift for newlyweds, maybe doing it on pretty champagne flutes, maybe for their wedding day or something like that. Or perhaps you have a beer lover in your family and you want to make him a special beer stein or something like that. I think that will actually work better than this because it did say that some Pyrex, now this isn't Pyrex. Pyrex is a name brand. So I'm assuming they mean not just Pyrex, but other name brands, including this one, Anchor Hawking. So it did say that it's not suitable for large areas or Pyrex, but this is what I did. This is what I did. Now I'm just going over and making sure that you see I used up quite a bit of this, but I'm going to reclaim it. And I want to make sure that I am getting all of it covered. You see, it's covered except right here. And that's important to give it a look because I don't want my whisk to come out I struggled so with the whisk there that I don't want it to not show. All right. So while we're sitting here waiting, I'm going to look at the chat, and I'm also going to tell you a little bit about the giveaways. You guys, first of all, let me just tell you that I am so excited. We have a goal. We have a goal. I'm going to just check the clock here. It's 9:30, so I'm going to give it a few minutes. And so I had this little goal for my birthday, which is in April, to hit 20,000 subscribers. So if you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel and you're watching this, would you please subscribe? Because I am this close to hitting 20,000. I am like in such a happy state that I can tell you that we have less than 100 people to hit the 20,000. We just made up a lot of time over the last month with the giveaways that we're doing, but I appreciate you all in subscribing. And so what I do is every month I have a giveaway. This month it's a little different because I'm giving away really huge products from Cricut. So normally I give away about $500 retail value of Cricut product, but they changed the way that they're doing the giveaways, and I am able to do it on sale price instead of retail price. So now I can give away more product because I chose some really awesome bundles, which usually bundles are a great price to begin with, but it proves pretty pretty good for giveaways because I'm giving away, say, one of the gifts is a Easy Press Mini Everything bundle, and that is I'm just keeping an eye on the time. Oh, yes, Nan, I think you probably could. But so Nan is saying that, could you pour it out? It's pretty thick though. So you will still need to spread it out. And she's suggesting a squeegee. I don't think a squeegee would work because a squeegee is going to take it all off. And you do need to let it sit, maybe a squeegee after the fact. Okay. Sorry. So to go back to the giveaways. So we're giving away 5 huge products, and we're going to have a special episode of chat on Thursday. Thursday is the last day of the month. And so we're going to the giveaway closes on the 30th, which is Wednesday. So now is your time to go in, and there's a little piece of I don't know what in there. Now is your time to go in and put your name in. Now, if you already are subscribed, thank you so much. And you can actually get another entry in there just by sharing, liking, or commenting on any of my videos. And there's like, I don't know, 900 videos there. So it's any of them. You can go back and look at something that maybe you want to do and get a little bit of insight on. The chat's not there, but you'll at least be able to understand the information. So let's see. There are only 35 hours left on the giveaway. Isn't that funny? She knows exactly. So it's been about 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do is start reclaiming this. As you can see, I might not reclaim all of it, but it's useful to reclaim it only because cleaning it off does require very special care. This stuff is a chemical, and obviously I'm wearing gloves because of the chemical nature, and you probably don't want to put this in or down a porcelain sink. So do be careful. I have stainless sink, so I didn't have a real problem with it, but I did worry about don't put it down a toilet because that's made of porcelain. And I started thinking maybe this stuff is the same stuff you use to make soap, but I don't think it is. That's potassium, sodium hydroxide. And I don't think that's what this is. Now, I suppose if you get really good, you could probably mix up your own etching cream, but we always stick to sort of the hobbyists, and I'm sure there will be people on here that will say, well, you can do this and you can do this. And yeah, sure. But this is sort of an introductory to the process. And so I'm just showing you like what a hobbyist could do with this. So if you want to get into business, I suggest that you do your own research, maybe find a bulk quantity of things and set up shop. That would be fun too. So there you go. So the giveaways are only a few more hours, basically 35 hours to get your name in. You can get your name in once a day. So do it today, do it tomorrow. I guess maybe not the next day, Dawn. I don't know. So maybe you only have 2 more days that you can put your name in. And what will happen is I will choose the winners, and we'll have like sort of a special announcement day on Thursday. Thursday, I'm leaving kind of open and light because I wanted to, I still wanted to do kind of a project, but I wanted to announce the winners then. So we'll still do a project on Thursday. It's just we won't it won't be like a super like this with all these steps on it. All right. So I think I got most of this, although I'm going to use a little bit of paper towel too, but I got most of it, and I'm happy with the fact that I was able to reclaim some of this, and I could probably do the other 2 pie plates or whatever. And pie plates would be so cute. I think I will develop a nice stencil for pie plates that is round. I think that would be fun. I did have a lot of fun making this stencil and sort of going back and weeding it. I was in thought. I was thinking, there are a lot of people out there that have SVGs, and I thought, I wonder if they try them. I wonder if they actually like try them and see if they'll work, because I like to try the things that I create and make sure they're not just it looks good on the screen but doesn't translate well. So I wonder that. Okay, so I got quite a bit done. I still have half a bottle of this, so I think I'll be able to do this on a couple more. And if I want to do more, I'm going to get more. Okay. So here's my paper towel. And now I'm going to remove as much as I can from this. I hope I have enough paper towel, because I don't want to have to go to the sink. You can almost see it's working, which is great. Now, when you're removing, make sure you're not getting it on the sides beyond your stencil, because then it would leave like sort of impression there, which we don't want. Okay, so here I am removing it, most all of it. There's still some under there. When I remove the stencil, it will have a little tiny bit like around these little pieces and stuff. So let's put this aside and start to remove the stencil. So I'm just going to I might need this to do this, but I'm going to start with the tape. This is exciting. It's like a treasure. Will it work? I will tell you, the rabbit hole of painting on glass almost caught me. I was like, oh, you can make stained glass out of paint. And then I started going down that hole, and I'm like, wait a second, Rita, don't do that. You could, you could, you could definitely get off topic really quickly. It isn't supposed to be washed off. No? Okay, so now I'm going to take the actual stencil, and I am going to try to pull it off. It's not going to come off in one piece, but that's okay. Oh. And then I have to deal with the stickiness here. I might have to take my gloves off, but I don't really want to. And wouldn't this make, when I first started thinking of this, I was like, oh, I'm going to make this for my new neighbors. They're really not new. They've been here for 2 years, but because of the pandemic, I never got to bring them over some baked goods, which is what I usually do, to somebody new in town. I know I'm an old lady. And and wouldn't that be nice? And then I remembered I don't remember the woman of the house's name. And so I don't know, maybe I could put their last name on there. I don't know. But that's how I started with this idea. Now, again, there's a lot of the stencil that you have to take off. So be patient with yourself and get it all off like this. And I'm actually pretty pleased with what I'm seeing right now. I will need to wipe this off again. I think baby wipes would be a great option here. And so, and you see, it didn't really bother the fact that it had the name Anchor Hawking on there. You can sort of see it, but it's really not that bad. Okay, here we go. We're almost done, guys. It's almost April, by the way, and we're going to have a whole new giveaway starting in April. I'm going to look for some really cool prizes, and would love to hear your thoughts on how we did it this month, because this month we waited until the end to give everybody all the chances that they could for the month. Is that something that you liked, or did you rather like it when we were giving things away through the month? We also had a couple of what do you call them, giveaways, cutie giveaways. And next month I'm starting a program in my Patreon group where if you are a patron of us, of me, of this show, you will get the opportunity to win a Cricut cutie. I think I'm going to give one away every month for as long as my cutie population holds out. And that is only for people who are patrons of me. You can become a patron, let's see, by going to Patreon, patreon.com, and look for Miss Rita to the Rescue. There is also a link that will be put in the description of the video. I'm told that I need to say that often and and enough that people will come through. Right now, because they're working on my website, I don't have any real special things in my Patreon, although the goal this year is to populate that with more like special offers type of thing, or like fresh what's the word, files. I mean, everybody else does it, so I don't see why I can't do it. So that's in the works, and that's only if you give me a pledge on Patreon. Patreon is like a pledge-based system where you pledge for any of your favorite whatever artists or there's different like types of people you can support on Patreon every month, and it's a monthly pledge, and it's like $5 a month. So the cost of maybe going to fancy coffee shop, right? So this is where I wish I had option to fast forward, but I don't. So if you're bored with this and you want to see the end result and you're watching it after the fact, then just fast forward over it. Oh, hey, I also wanted to see if you guys wanted to have date night this Saturday. I was planning on doing a project from Dreaming Tree that is it's sort of like the scarecrow and the witch that we did. I kind of dropped the ball over Christmas because I wanted to do the penguin, and this one looks a lot like the penguin, but it's a chick. It's like a little chickie coming out of an egg. And so if you guys want to come on Saturday night, maybe around 5 o'clock, we can do that special. And I'm almost done here. Let's see. I think I will take off my glove just because it's harder to weed. You see how there is some like almost like it's like chalky for the etching. So you do need to keep sort of handy and I would probably wash this after the fact in my sink, but again, stay away from porcelain sinks. And I'm using the wrong hand. I took the thing off with I took the wrong glove off. Isn't that stupid? Dumb. Anyway, so this vexed me terribly. Hey, speaking of vexing, did anybody watch the second season of Bridgerton this weekend? I know I did, and there was a corgi in it, and it was okay. It wasn't bad. I loved the first season. I love the dynamic with Simon and Daphne, and I wasn't like super enthralled with the new subjects, but it was still good to see a corgi. Okay, I'm going to take this off in a second, but I want to show you what this looks like. Hey, that looks really good. Now, I do see around here that I've got quite a bit of etching cream where I shouldn't have it. And I think that's because of, me taking it off, and it's probably on my glove. So I'm going to try to remove it a little bit using this alcohol, and I will clean this up again under the running water eventually. And I think idea of coloring is a really good idea. Maybe not for this kind of project, but could you see a nice champagne flute that had etching in it that was gold? That's what I was thinking. Oh, so pretty. Would make an awesome little gift. Or if you're getting ready for somebody's special wedding or something like that. There we go. That's it. Made with Love in Rita Marie's kitchen. I can read it very clearly. It came out pretty well, in my opinion. I still need to do a little bit of, what do you call this? Weeding, I guess, weeding it off. But it's going to look fabulous. And this is the best one I did yet, probably because I had you guys and I was going slow. Okay, so there is our project. I still have to get rid of inside of the ease the little pieces of vinyl because it's still showing. And that is the project. So again, if you were to try this, I'm going to give you the file that I created, but I think that the file could be used for other things as well. I have some other products coming, including like a wood burning etch. And so I think that I might I might try this on a what do you call it? On a cutting board, because I think that will look real cute. And so I might try it on that. I am a little like disappointed in myself over here, but we can't all be perfect. And then right in through here, I want to make sure that we get rid of that, because I don't think that we really got in there and got rid of it. Obviously, you don't want to put this like where people's mouths are, because um unless somebody's licking the bottom of your pan, I think it's real important to keep it away from mouths. I don't want to put too much alcohol in here because I don't want to get rid of the actual etching. So let's have another look. There we go. Made with Love in Rita Marie's kitchen. So number 3, this took me 3 attempts to do. I'm not sure if I put this below, you can see it better. Maybe. But I think I did a great job. Yay, me. And the next time I'll know to be sure to watch out for around here when I remove the stencil. See, it's on my hand of my glove. So I hope that you might give this a try. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. That's fine. But I thought it was kind of a fun project, and I'm looking forward to mastering it, and maybe even doing some coloring in the future. Did you like it? Did you like it? Thanks. You're welcome, Teresa. All right, everyone. I think that's going to do it for me today. As I mentioned, I am going to be traipsing through the Salem Country Club today and having a look at some project they did. So this afternoon I won't be around too much, but I will be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow to do a paper project. We are going to be doing the Easter bunny gift, the Easter basket gift. So let me just show you what that is. And I've actually dolled it up. So here you go. This is the project we're going to do here. And it's quite small, but I made some changes here because I make changes. And then I also found this really adorable Happy Easter print and cut. So I want to show you how I found that and what I'm going to do with it. And it opens up, it pops up. Let's see if I can get a picture. We don't want to do that. We want to go to all categories, and what we're aiming for tomorrow is here somewhere. There it is. The Easter basket pop-up card. It says 1 to 2 hours, but I think that maybe takes into account the cutting time, because cutting was a real bear on this. But it is a really fun project. I actually cut out the bunny in white glitter because I think I saw Shirley doing that. So I thought that was kind of fun. So we're going to be taking care of that tomorrow. I hope you can join me, and I hope you have a really pleasant day. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys that liked it. And yes, people are asking, can you wash this? Yes, according to the package directions, you can wash this, put it in the dishwasher, so that once it's etched, it's sort of etched, which is why I'm like, why do I have all this place here? So, but anyway, I'm happy. I hope you are too. And we will see you again tomorrow at 9 o'clock.